Warriors, 100% proof that crypto is here to stay. Now, let's remember a year, 2 years ago, when people were saying cryptocurrency is a fraud, that it's a scam, and that it's never going to happen in America. Well, guess what? It's here to stay, and you're going to hear it right from the horse's mouth. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. And I'm excited to be with you guys today on this amazing Friday. If you're watching this in the future, welcome. Just a reminder, I will be in Dubai from October 14th to October 17th, and we will be at the crypto conference on the 14th and 15th, and we will be doing a meet and greet in Dubai. And I will let you know the date. So keep an eye on my Instagram page. Stories. Ken Mack and I will be doing a meet and greet in Dubai in about 10 days, 11 days from now. So I'll be there from the 14th to the 17th, and we'll be meeting up with you guys, the fans out in Dubai. So very excited to meet with you guys. So first of all, Warriors, I've been telling you for a very long time, cryptocurrency is here to stay based on my 12-year banking experience and understanding that we're moving from the third industrial revolution to the fourth industrial revolution, from industrial to technical, right? From Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. Now, the biggest battle right now, the political theater, is the regulation of cryptocurrency so they can move the casino over to the cryptocurrency space. Now, Jerome Powell's been under fire. He's been, and they raised they funded the government yesterday, so that was beautiful. I said that was going to happen. And then now we have October 18th, which is today is October 1st, and crypto is absolutely exploding this morning. We said October is going to be absolutely parabolic. And you're going to hear right from the horse's mouth, Jerome Powell, and then one of the top economists in the world, literally, that cryptocurrency is here to stay, number one. And number two, that cash is trash and the elites are running towards assets. They always do during this time. They did it during the 1930s to the 1940s because guess what? The working poor don't understand what's going on. They have zero clue what's going on. They just don't. What's happening is the money, we are running towards assets, because your US dollar is deflating. So let's hear from Jerome Powell, where he says he's not going to ban cryptocurrency. We know the narrative is that China is going to ban cryptocurrency. Let's hear from Jerome Powell first, and then we'll hear right from Ray Dalio, and then we'll take a deep dive into what I think is going to happen in the crypto space. But hang on to your seats, Warriors. The bull run is here. We may see a little bit of volatility on the front end here, but it's about to go parabolic. Make sure you have an exit plan. Make sure you're ready for the bear market. We're going to teach our Warriors how to become wealthy in the bear market. As Crypto Mason says, we're one bear market away from retirement. Check this out.
So, Mr. Chairman, as a matter of policy, is it your intention to ban or limit the use of cryptocurrencies like we're seeing in China?
No, and I immediately realized I'd misspoken there. I didn't mean that take the word cryptocurrency out of that sentence, and I would say fairly widely understood that central bank digital currencies could perform some of the could make
but no intention to ban.
Less.
No intention to ban.
No intention to ban them, but they're, the stable coins are like money market funds. They're like bank deposits, but they're to some extent outside the regulatory perimeter, and it's appropriate that they be regulated. Same activity, same regulation.
So I told you guys the whole political theater with the XRP Ripple case, that's why it's dragging out, is to bring in regulation and a new Howey test. So now we know cryptocurrency is not going to get banned. Your mom and dad are seeing that. The baby boomers are seeing that. And that's the biggest population that holds the most wealth that's struggling to see the transition. But when it's too late, when they finally realize that cryptocurrency is here to stay, it'll be too late. They'll move in at the top of the market, right? We still have a full 3-year bear market, Warriors, before this is fully adopted into the general public. So we're still very, very early, but there's no time to waste. It's time to get your shit together. All right, let's hear from the top economist, I believe, in the world.
Think about things sort of in the machine, the economic machine. So help us understand what's going on inside Ray Dalio's mind right now.
Well, I think it depends on the time frame, and I think the relevant time frame is the next few years. And I think you have to put things.
Okay, so that's key. The relevant time frame is the next few years. I've told you guys by 2025, that's when everything's going to switch. It's going to be the biggest, most important time of your life.
In the context. So there are three big forces that have been at work, and I think you have to understand those. First is the debt money thing. How much debt and money, and what are the repercussions? How does that pass through the economy? What does that mean for markets, inflation, and so on? We're in a different era now. Zero interest rates, produce a lot of debt and monetize it. Second influence, the conflict, internal conflict over wealth, left-right conflict. That conflict. And then the third is the rising of a great power in the form of China, challenging an existing great power and challenging the existing world order.
Okay, so he just explained how they distract people, get you to fight left and right, lower interest rates, make money cheap, monetize the shit out of it, right? The rich people, we use debt. They use debt. They use debt to buy assets, warriors. And then there's a rise of a new superpower.
Those three things are coming together at the same time as then we have a pandemic. So I think each one of those is a cycle. What's happening now has not happened before in our lifetimes, but has happened in the 1930 to 45 period. I went back and studied it over 500 years. And so it's that context. So I think if we're talking about anything, we should look at that within that context.
Okay, let's break it down.
Okay, so this is why I'm so obsessed with Ray Dalio. This is where I've learned a lot of this. This is nothing new under the sun. This has happened over and over again. And as I've said, this will never happen in our timeline again. It's happening in our timeline. We get to experience this. And there's two types of people. There's going to be the working poor, very poor that come out of this, and the very wealthy, just like the Great Depression.
And let's start with the debt situation that we have in this country, and the zero interest rates. Given you're a student of history, what happens next?
This is so important, warriors. Get your pen and paper out.
There's not enough money to go around, right? We're spending a lot more than we're earning, and we have to do that partially because of this social redistribution, that necessity, and they can't take it all from taxes. And what that means is the printing of money. So it's the mechanics of that. So what you do is you get more money. And so that devalues the value of money. In other words, cash is trash.
You came on our air, I think, in Davos and said cash is trash. You still believe it?
Of course you don't. Look, this is guaranteed. You are not going to have an interest rate that's going to compensate you anywhere for inflation. So you have to look at the cost of the money, right? And so that interest rate, whether it's the bond rate or whether it's the cash rate, certainly, you're not going to get that. And so we have this wonderful sugar high, which is to distribute the checks and so on. But that means
okay, so this is really important to understand, to break it down. So basically what he's saying, the sugar high is they're distributing all these checks, they're keeping you high on the money, right? And so what's happening as well is they're keeping interest rates very, very low, contra loan effect. So the wealthy people, they're taking their money and putting it into assets. He's going to explain exactly what I've been talking about. That's why people are going to Bitcoin. That's why people are going to gold. That's why people are going to silver. That's why Steve, what's his name? Bill Gates is buying up all these properties, land.
Means everything else goes up in relationship to cash because it's better to borrow cash. That's just mechanics. So we have that dynamic underway. So we produce inflation. But what you do know is that interest rates must be below inflation rates and must be below the nominal growth rate in order to deal with all of that debt in order to finance it. And that depreciates the value of cash and money, so you have to invest it elsewhere. That's the dynamic, right?
Okay, so that depreciates. Let's think about that, warriors. So now what's going to happen is on the back end of the year, December 18th, they're going to raise the debt ceiling, or they're going to fight to raise the debt ceiling. We have to print more money. Okay, we have to print more money into the system to monetize it, right? You're going to get your stimulus checks. It's going to keep you happy. It's going to keep you looking the other way. And they're going to be buying assets. Okay, so that's really important to understand, whereas that's coming from one of the top economists in the world. Cash is trash. It has no intrinsic value. The intrinsic value is the fact that we believe in it. That's the world's reserve currency. But we have a country, China, who is growing rapidly in their GDP, right? We're negative debt to income ratio. And if we keep printing, we're just going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like we're someone who's about to file bankruptcy, right? Where there's really no other way but just to let the money machine just run, right? And so that doesn't benefit you. That does not benefit you. Okay, so let's dive right into this, warriors. So Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, U.S. has no plans to ban Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell has confirmed that the U.S. has no plans to ban Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies on Thursday afternoon at the Oversight, Treasury Department, and Federal Pandemic Response hearing. During the hearing, House of Representatives Ted Budd questioned Chairman Powell about the state of inflation in the United States. Powell deflected, did his little cough, the inflation question, claiming the inflation in this country is due to the oft-repeated supply chain crisis caused by government's pandemic response. Okay, so I just presented to my warriors yesterday about how crisis has happened. We have a supply chain management issue that was caused by the C word. Everybody's looking this way. So now we have a supply chain management problem, which gives them an excuse and understanding of why inflation is going up. So now when you get your check, so this is how they're keeping the economy going. They print money for you. By the time it gets to you, things cost more, right? And it's cheap to borrow money. So people are borrowing money to stay afloat. So now you're borrowing money, keeping debt into the system, which is interest. Your products and services cost more, right? So that puts money back into the economy. It's a vicious cycle that you can't get out of, warriors. The only way you can get out of it is to either bankrupt and you need to buy assets. That's it. Assets, assets, assets. Okay. So we got SEC Gary Gensler warns a lot of people are likely to get hurt without crypto rules like those for bank deposits and insurance. Warriors, like I said, I can keep saying it over and over again. They're just trying to walk the delicate tightrope as people they don't want people to do a bank run. They don't want people to run over to cryptocurrency. That's why they're taking so long with the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's why China keeps saying they're banning cryptocurrency. I guarantee they're buying Bitcoin. They don't want their citizens running over to a cryptocurrency that is going to give them sovereignty. America doesn't want a bunch of us running over to cryptocurrency that's going to give us sovereignty, right? Or the supposed appearance of sovereignty. Right. So what'll happen is they don't want to they don't want a runaway train, basically. So they're going to work to regulate it. They're going to normalize it. And once they normalize it, then they're going to start getting the baby boomers. They're going to start to put it out on the news as it's legit, ready to go. But during that time, they're going to wipe out about 99% of bad actors. So what we have here is we have a massive bull run where we're going to see price appreciation from here on out, right? That we've never seen before. The normal everyday person can amass a large amount of wealth, but it's a small percentage of the population of 7 billion people. So they're not too worried about that. Then it's going to collapse back down about 80 to 90%. Then we have one bear market when it's going to come back and normalize, right? And that's when we can start to amass a large amount of wealth and be very strategic during the bear market and start to diversify into assets. Okay. So we know the crypto regulation is coming. Okay. Central banks see risk in government-backed digital currencies. Okay, this is interesting. That's one possible financial stability hazard raised in a series of reports by global central banks, including U.S. Federal Reserve Bank of England, okay, and Swiss National Bank. During a crisis, central bank digital currencies could be perceived as a safe haven, according to the reports published Thursday by a Bank of International Settlements, the BIS. Evidence from previous systemic bank runs indicate right there. Evidence from previous systemic bank runs indicate how powerful the impetus, I can't pronounce that, of a bank run is, and therefore how the reduced transaction costs of CBDCs could accelerate bank runs. I've been saying that. I didn't even read this article fully. What have I been saying? They're worried about modern day bank runs. Wars, I'm running for president. This is it. Everything I've said has been exactly right. This is pretty interesting. I just want to share this news with you guys. I thought this was pretty interesting. It says 2 Democrats say they want to mint a coin to solve the debt ceiling showdown and save the U.S. from catastrophic default. This is pretty interesting. They talk about minting some coins, but I think where I found this here, the reason why did I put this in here? Use your brain, Coach JB. It said something about using it in a digital way, which is interesting. See if I can find that part here. To be honest with you guys, I don't remember why I threw this article in here, but because it's important, because I think it was something about they were going to mint it, Janet Yellen, blah, blah, blah. All right, who cares? All right, let's jump right into this. All right, Warriors, so let's get back my beautiful face on the screen here. Okay, so we've been saying this for 2 years, right? So the cool thing is that, when I was saying this about 2 years ago, everybody was looking at me like I was some crazy long-haired hippie dude. Now people are like, holy shit, like this dude was, what he was saying is right. Now, how did I come to these conclusions? Because I tell you not to trust a word I say. You don't need to, I'm not an economist. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude who spends excessive amount of times researching, connecting the dots, and watching what the very wealthy people do, okay? That's what I do. And it makes sense. I listen to people like Ray Dalio, Kathy Woods. I watch what Warren Buffett does. I watch the moves that Bill Gates is doing, Elon Musk, billionaires, not millionaires, not people posting Lamborghinis and Ferraris on their Instagram. I'm looking at the people who are making big moves, and they're not doing what the working poor are doing. They're not buying Lamborghinis and Ferraris and popping bottles. They're not watching WAP videos, warriors. They're buying assets. They're setting up generational wealth. And it's nothing new under the sun. You heard Ray Dalio said it. This has happened in history over and over again. So the way I look at it is, holy shit, how cool is this to be involved in one of the biggest shifts in generational wealth? One of the biggest shifts in generational wealth. And I'm positioning myself through subconscious mind programming, goal setting, opening up my reticular activating system to a whole new paradigm, and linking up with people who are actually practicing what they preach and doing this. And I plan on setting my family up for generation after generation after generation. And you do that through creation, through learning, through growing, warriors, because our education system is shifting. That's why we created our uncommon 1%. I'm teaching people how to take their knowledge and turn it into an education system so they can teach people online and break free from the just over broke system. We have our Warrior Academy that's online. We have had over close to 4,000 warriors go through the Warrior Academy. We have active warriors all over the world, 16 different countries. We're heading out to Dubai to meet some of the people, which is exciting. You can do this, warriors. It doesn't take a lot of money right now because it's very, very early. Imagine being at the bottom of a wave. I'm not trying to get you into crypto, but what I'm sharing with you guys is I'm giving you the hint that we're moving into a new economic system. They're all saying it. Ray Dalio says it. Cash is trash. Rich people are going into assets. Jerome Powell says you're coming back to a new economy, leveraged towards technology. He's worried about the middle class. Why is he worried about the middle class? Because you're not going to have a job. The very safe, secure job your parents keep telling you to get into may not be there. Their job might not be there. Think about that. It's so much cheaper to have people working at home, and they're realizing they don't need all these bodies. When technology and AI continues to kick in, they're not going to need you, warriors. So you got to start thinking strategically. But what's going to be happening is you're going to be getting these stimulus checks. You're going to be happy, and you're going to be holding a bag of shit at the end that's going to be worth nothing. It's that simple, warriors. You may as well go after it. You may as well throw the Hail Mary right now if you want to. This is the opportunity. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Everything's in the description down below. You can join our private Warrior Academy, our free Discord. You can get your Geist shirt down below. Everything you need to be successful. So I appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we'll see you on Saturday. Warriors, rise, get your shit together.